Welcome to Harlan High School on the south side of Chicago for Comcast CN100. I'm Kirn. Today, the Harlan Falcons open up the 2011-2012 basketball season against the Farragut Admirals. But the bigger story here today, the Falcons honoring their legendary Hall of Fame head coach, Lee Umbles.
Who is Lee Umbles? As the saying goes, if you don't know, you better ask somebody.
He was a coach at Harlan through the 60s, through the 70s.
He was a no-nonsense coach.
He was an awesome coach.
You know, not only was he a good coach, he was a good mentor.
He was always about education and promoting young people to, being the best they can be.
He was a man that many would say he was short of stature, but he was a giant among men.
He made an impact on many people's lives, and that's why we're here.
The Lee Umbles Foundation started basically because when we were at the funeral, we didn't understand how many males that my father taught and touched.
We really didn't understand the impact that he had on young men's lives. Listening to the young men who talked about, many of them, my dad was a second father to him.
They got up and they spoke about different things that he had done for them. And a lot of them talked about the scholarships that he had gotten for them. So we decided to carry that through and make sure that we get scholarships for these kids now and beyond.
This event really culminates in a wonderful opportunity for them to reconnect, to give back to the community, and to give back to the young men who are in there now playing a game. They can reconnect with the school and each other, and it's just really a happy time for our family and for the gentlemen that were on his team.
We have some former players that are going to be honored today for the 3 championship teams he won in 67, 70, and 71.
It's very rewarding for me to see something like this happen. Coach Umbles impacted all of the players that were able to come out today and participate in the event. I think he had a profound effect on their lives. I think he had a profound effect not only on the school, but the community around us. I grew up around the corner from here, so I think that the work that the foundation now wants to do is going to be even more significant now with the court being named for Mr. Umbles, and I think his work will continue.
At this time, After School Matters would like to dedicate this mural to Harlan High School on behalf of the Umbles family.
Jackie Umbles from the Lee Umbles Foundation came to After School Matters and kind of wanted this mosaic mural in honor of her father that led Harlan High School basketball team over 40 years ago. So we work with professional instructors throughout Chicago who work with teenagers, and we develop these type of murals.
We had about 30 kids, 6 weeks in the hot summer sun on the second floor.
It was very fun, and we enjoyed ourselves by doing it.
Working on the mural, I had a lot of fun because I never painted before. I learned a lot about Mr. Umbles and how he was such a great person, and I met a lot of new people, and I had fun.
You know, we had 6 weeks. I think we rocked out like a ginormous mural in that amount of time. The kids worked extremely hard, and we kind of had the spirit of Lee Umbles behind us, like pushing it to get it done. And he was always the driving force, being like, let's go, come on now, don't stop now, we gotta get it done. And it was perfect.
I think it's great. I think everybody should like it. We worked real hard.
I think it's absolutely phenomenal, but it's not just so much the final product, but it's the fact that teenagers around Harlan High School came together as a group and they created and decided on what this is going to look like. I mean, they're gaining some real world skills and experiences.
And steal back the other way, and here's Johnson again for 3. Got it! Deontay Johnson with 14. They're back within 2.
Some of the guys that played on those teams had not been back in the gym since high school. So it was, I think, very rewarding for them to come back in the gym and see his name on the court.
We both came to Harlan in '66. Mr. Umbles and I
We shared an office for 18 years. Never had a disagreement, never had an argument.
I think, honestly, the renaming of the floor can be the catalyst for doing a lot of things in the community and with the school, just because there's going to be a lot more attention devoted to what he was as a person and to the foundation's efforts.
Anybody that wanted to go to college, he and Mr. Howard found a school for them. And this is the kind of stuff he did.
I've said this many times that outside of my dad, Coach Umbles had the most influence over me in terms of a male in my life.
What's so ironic about he's family to me. Mr. Umbles was my cousin. He was real hard on me, but it made a difference. It allowed me to really progress as a basketball player and as a man.
You know, he kind of helped us to establish ourselves and develop ourselves for life after basketball. You know, to use basketball as sort of like a means to an end was one of his quotes.
He was very firm in how things should be done. He was very disciplined, and that discipline translated into what we did on the basketball court.
Very fundamentally sound. You had to play defense. You had to learn the game on a mental standpoint and as an athletic standpoint.
He would always be like on me about my education, and I can tell like by seeing all of the wonderful men here and women too who he's touched their lives. I think it's very inspiring to me.
He was focused on education, but he always wanted to know how we were doing in gym.
You know, he was also a baseball coach, and one year he was second in the city in baseball. He was a good baseball player too.
And a lot of the success that I've been able to have all traces back to this school and the time that I spent with Coach Umbles, because he instilled a tremendous amount of confidence in me.
It helped, you know, as you can see from the number of guys who we feel are doing well and are here today to honor him for this occasion.
It means so much to all of us. We had people coming from St. Croix, from California, from Tennessee. Can you imagine what that means to be able to touch someone and they're coming back to say, I was there.
We feel so honored, privileged, and proud to be here, and we want to say thank you to all of the people who donated, came far and beyond to let us express, gratitude for my father and to let him know that they loved him and they actually support what we're doing at the Lee Umbles Foundation.
I'm sorry he couldn't have been here to know how it's going to go on, the legacy of the things that he's done, because we have this Umbles Foundation and we're going to start to now give scholarships to young people, and it's just a beautiful thing, a beautiful thing.
What a bucket by Goodall, going underneath, and the old gypsy doodle, and it's a 4-point lead for the Falcons.
The Harlan Falcons, playing some inspired basketball here tonight, have upset the Farragut Admirals, christening Lee Umbles Court with a victory. From Harlan High School for Comcast CN100, I'm Aaron Kirn.